Hello, Mark Anthony Lord here, and today we are focusing on one of my favorite chakras. And I know I say that on every chakra, but what I love about the one we're focusing on today, which is the solar plexus chakra, located just below the rib cage, color yellow, right there over my shoulder. By the way, I'm in Austin, Texas, visiting a dear friend. So this is their home, and that's the perfect thing to have over my shoulder for this chakra focus. The solar plexus chakra is such a powerful place to have purified because in the center of this chakra, the way that I teach it is the will of God. It's trust, trusting that the will of God, which is only good, is your will. The belief that you have a separate will, the belief that you're separate from the goodness of life is what keeps you struggling and striving. It keeps you not being faithful or trusting. And when you're not in the flow of God's will, in your intention and in your focus, you are being willful. When you're willful, you are being controlling. Now, who doesn't have a control issue? All of us do when we feel afraid, when we don't trust the flow of life, when we don't believe that it's flowing in our direction. And many of us, many of us, this trusting of life, this knowing that there is an inherent will of love that is guiding all of us, that was taken away from us very early in childhood. We all were trained at some level, conditioned, domesticated, as Don Miguel Ruiz in the Four Agreements says. We were domesticated to fight against life. This is where you hear things like, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to conquer. I'm going to get to the top of the ladder. It's that striving in us that is efforting. It's not bad to put your energy and your striving into the flow of God's will within you. It's only when you believe you've got to effort against life. So taking the time to purify this chakra, to remember the truth that was before you incarnated, which is the will of God is so good, it's so perfect, and it is encoded in you. Let me go on with this for just a moment because it works everywhere. For the person whose house burns down, for the person who suddenly is diagnosed with a terminal illness, when dramatic things occur in life, in this world, God's will rise up right there and lead you through. Because the nature of the will is love. The nature of the will, it's like it says, you are my beloved in whom I am well pleased. And you are never left out of the goodness of life. When you take the time to surrender your willfulness, when you take the time to acknowledge you've got some control issues and you're willing to have those purified and released, you will feel this, I can just relax. I can just let myself be in the flow of life. And when life comes in with the curveball, the flow of life is still there. Just imagine for a moment how much better, truly, how much better your world will be when you consciously, intentionally realign with the will of God. That is only good. That's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to lead you through a purification, third chakra meditation that will help you become free of all of the willfulness, all of the distrust that you've acquired over your years, and release you from that part of you that says, I've got to control this. I've got to make something happen. Getting that out of the way just puts you naturally right in the center of the river of God that will carry you. All right, let's do this. Join me in closing your eyes, connecting with your breath, taking some nice, slow, deep breaths. Breathing in and out of the nose, feeling the body expand and contract. Allow your spine to grow a little taller and take another deep, deep breath, stretching the body a little further than you did on the last breath. And as you exhale, imagine growing even taller within, creating more space. We exhale out the past. We release the idea of a future. And we breathe into this present moment, this holy instant where the will of God exists. Allow your attention to float down below the rib cage. Join me in placing your hand there, if that's comfortable for you, and breathe into your hand. And as you do, imagine a ball of yellow light. Think of a lemon. And allow that light, imagine that light growing brighter and brighter with your attention upon it. Opening up the third chakra. Now imagine that the chakra begins to spin like a disc. And as it spins faster and faster, the center of the chakra opens up, creating like a donut hole. And that yellow light just extends and the center opens up. Now imagine that a streaming white light comes straight through the center of your back, through this chakra and out the front. And this white light is a purifying light. And as it flows through, allow it to pull out all the cords of control. Allow it to release all willfulness, to purify, so that you no longer distrust. Keep your attention upon that streaming white light pulling out of your third chakra. Control, distrust, lack of faith, the belief that you are not supported, the fear of letting go and aligning with the will of God that is only good. Imagine this streaming beam of white light, purifying, releasing you all thoughts of this lifetime of control. And heck, let's throw in there all thoughts and beliefs of control from past lives, if you believe that. Purifying your whole being, releasing you from willfulness and the belief that you need to make life happen. Take a deep breath. Now imagine that that beam of white light begins to contract, pull back out of you the way it came in, and it just dissolves and disappears, placing your attention once again upon the third chakra. And as you do, imagine that it begins to slow down. The spinning is slower and slower until it stops. And when it does, that hole closes up, and imagine that this yellow light turns into a beautiful yellow flower. Just breathe into this flower. It's alive, it's fresh. The petals are reaching out. And we're going to plant seeds of truth into the center of the chakra like raindrops that the flower just drinks in. So breathe in these words and even say them out loud if it's comfortable for you. I am aligned with the will of God that is only good. I am aligned with the will of God that is only good. I trust life. I allow myself to be in the flow of my own goodness. The will of God is my will, and it is only and always good. Breathe in. Imagine this third chakra, this flower just going, yes, yes. And it's easy for it to say yes because it's true. The will of God is my will, and it is only and always good. Take a deep breath. Imagine this third chakra, the petals of this flower closing up on the edges, as a flower often does as the sun sets at the end of the day, leaving the center open to just allow a natural flow of faith to be activated throughout your whole day. This completes our meditation, opening your eyes when you're ready. Thank you for doing that. Please pay attention throughout the day when you have those old habits of needing to control. And notice, because sometimes that need to control, it doesn't say that clear. It doesn't go, I've got to control this. That's what it says in the subconscious mind. But learn what the conscious mind is saying to you that is activating this need to control. Take a breath at that moment, release it, and remind yourself, I am in the flow of the will of God. God's will is my will, and it is only good. I let go and I let God. That's what happens right there in the third chakra. It's awesome. Thank you for doing this. Please leave a comment and let me know how this video went for you. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd love to have you join me there. Peace and love.